What if I told you that 1% better every day makes you 37 times better in a year? This isn't just a theory, it's science, proven by James Clear in his best-selling book Atomic Habits. But here's the problem. Most people miss the hidden secrets inside this book, secrets that can transform your habits, your productivity, and even your wealth. Today, we're unlocking them. Stay till the end. This could change your life. James Clear didn't just write a best-selling book. He wrote his way out of the darkest chapter of his life. At 15, a baseball accident nearly ended everything. A flying bat crushed his face, shattered bones, and put him in a medically induced coma. He spent months relearning how to walk, how to speak, how to live. The dreams he once chased were now out of reach. Most people would have quit, slipped into despair. But James did something different. He started rebuilding, not with big heroic actions, but with the tiniest steps imaginable. One push-up, one page, one good decision repeated. There were no shortcuts, no bursts of overnight change, just quiet, consistent effort. A slow, steady rhythm of micro habits stacked on top of each other. Over time, those tiny actions rewired his identity, not just his routine, his sense of self. Years later, those habits would evolve into a philosophy. That philosophy would become a framework, and that framework became Atomic Habits, a global phenomenon translated into over 50 languages, used by athletes, CEOs, artists, and everyday people around the world. But here's what most readers never realize. The real power wasn't in the habits themselves. Because motivation fades, willpower runs dry, life gets chaotic. What kept James going wasn't inspiration. It was architecture, a system designed to work even when he didn't feel like working, a structure built to carry him when everything else failed. In this video, we're not just summarizing the book. We're going under the surface. We're revealing the 3 hidden frameworks that make habits stick for life, backed by psychology, grounded in neuroscience, and proven in the stories of real people who use these methods to transform everything: health, wealth, mindset, and identity. So if you've ever felt stuck, if you've ever made a resolution and watched it fade, if you've ever believed you just weren't disciplined enough, stay with us. What you're about to learn may be the breakthrough you've been waiting for. Section 1. The 1% Rule. Why small wins matter. James Clear calls it the aggregation of marginal gains. On the surface, it sounds simple. Small improvements, consistently applied, lead to big results. But beneath that idea lies a radical truth. You don't have to be extreme. You just have to be consistent. This philosophy was brought to life by British cycling coach Dave Brailsford. In the early 2000s, British cycling was a joke on the world stage. They hadn't won a Tour de France. Olympic golds? Rare. But Brailsford had a different strategy. Instead of overhauling everything at once, he zoomed in on the tiniest, most mundane details. They improved seat ergonomics by 1%, sleep environments by 1%, even learned the best way to wash their hands to reduce illness by, yes, 1%. These weren't massive overhauls, they were micro-adjustments, but they worked. Within 5 years, British cycling dominated. Multiple Olympic golds, Tour de France wins, records shattered. What changed? Not talent, not grit, just the system. The consistency of micro wins stacked on top of each other until they became unstoppable. Here's what most people miss. Motivation comes and goes, but systems endure. If you rely on feeling inspired, your progress will always be inconsistent. But if you build a system, a structure that supports your goals even on bad days, you'll keep moving forward. That's why James Clear says, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Want to become a reader? Don't aim to finish 30 books a year. Start with 2 pages a night, every night. Want to get in shape? Don't start with an hour-long workout. Begin with 5 push-ups. Show up. Repeat. Let the identity grow before the results appear. Because it's not just about doing the habit. It's about becoming the kind of person who does. That's where the magic happens. When reading a page turns into becoming a reader. When writing a sentence turns into being a writer. When walking for 5 minutes turns into seeing yourself as someone who values movement. Identity is built in the smallest, quietest moments when no one is watching. Scientific backing. Research in behavioral psychology backs this up. According to B.J. Fogg at Stanford, small habits are more likely to stick because they don't trigger internal resistance. The brain doesn't fight back when the task feels effortless. This is known as the minimum viable habit. Once the habit is in place, it can naturally grow. Neurologically, repetition of small behaviors activates the basal ganglia, the part of the brain responsible for habit formation. Over time, what once required effort becomes automatic. And once something is automatic, it no longer drains willpower. Habit stacking. Pair new habits with routines already locked in. Example: after brushing my teeth, I'll meditate for 1 minute. The 2-minute rule starts so small it feels laughable to skip. Example: I'll put on my running shoes and walk for 2 minutes. Identity shift. Don't chase outcomes. Build identities. Don't try to read more. Become a reader. Don't try to get fit. Become someone who moves every day. Small habits don't just change your results, they change your reflection. And when your reflection changes, your reality follows. Section 2. The habit loop. Why do some habits stick while others vanish within days? James Clear offers a powerful answer, and it starts in your brain. Every habit you form, good or bad, follows a predictable cycle. It's called the habit loop, a 4-part neurological pattern that governs everything from brushing your teeth to scrolling through social media. But here's the catch. Most people only focus on the action. They think, I just need to do the thing. But without understanding the loop, they're fighting blindfolded. Let's break it down, step by step. 1. Cue. The trigger. Habits always begin with a cue, a signal that tells your brain to go into autopilot. Cues are everywhere. Time of day, location, emotional state, or even a simple notification. Example: your phone buzzes. Without thinking, your hand moves. You check it. That's the cue in action. Want to build a new habit? Make the cue obvious. If you want to drink more water, don't rely on memory. Put a full bottle right in front of your keyboard. Want to read more? Put a book on your pillow every morning. The easier the cue is to spot, the more automatic your response will become. 2. Craving. The emotional pull. But a cue alone isn't enough. It must create a craving, a desire. Without it, there's no motivation to act. You don't scroll your phone because it buzzed. You scroll because you crave connection, entertainment, distraction. The cue triggers the emotion you're after. James Clear recommends temptation bundling to fuel this stage. Pair something you want with something you need. Want to exercise more? Only let yourself watch your favorite Netflix show while walking on the treadmill. Want to clean your apartment? Blast your favorite music while you do it. This isn't trickery, it's neurology. When your brain starts associating a hard task with a pleasurable outcome, motivation rises naturally. 3. Response. The actual habit. Now comes the response, the behavior itself. This is where most people stumble, because they make the action too hard. You want to meditate, but aim for 30 minutes your first try. You want to run, but set a goal of 5 miles a day. The friction is too high. Clear's solution: reduce the barrier. Lay your workout clothes out the night before. Prep healthy meals in batches. Want to write? Open your doc and write 1 sentence. According to a 2019 behavioral study, people were 3 times more likely to follow through when they had pre-committed with small, frictionless steps. Success isn't about intensity, it's about reducing resistance. The 4. Reward. The feel-good payoff. Finally, the reward, the brain's favorite part. This is what seals the loop. Without a reward, the brain won't remember the habit. It won't repeat it. That's why so many good habits die early. They're all work and no win. Clear recommends adding immediate gratification. Love coffee. Only allow yourself to drink it after your morning workout. That way, your brain starts associating the effort with pleasure. Want to save money? Transfer $5 into a fun fund every time you skip a luxury purchase. Now, your brain sees a tangible gain. Over time, the brain learns, when I do this, I feel good. And that's how habits stick for life. And let's recap the habit loop. Cue, make it obvious. Craving, make it attractive. Response, make it easy. Reward, make it satisfying. Understand this loop, and you stop relying on willpower. You start building a life that runs on design, not discipline. Section 3. The dark side of habits. Most videos about habits are all sunshine and progress. But here's where Atomic Habits gets brutally honest. Your bad habits aren't broken, they're replaced. You don't eliminate them through willpower. You overwrite them through design. Let that sink in for a moment, because this is where most people fail. We tell ourselves we just need to be stronger, more disciplined. But James Clear flips that idea on its head. He says, willpower is a poor strategy. It's limited, it's inconsistent, and when stress hits or fatigue sets in, it vanishes. So what actually works? Invisibility. You don't fight a bad habit head-on. You remove its cue, you starve it of oxygen. For example, if social media is stealing your time, don't rely on self-control. Delete the apps from your phone. Use tools like Freedom, Cold Turkey, or screen time blockers. If junk food is derailing your diet, don't just promise to eat better. Don't buy it in the first place. When it's not in your house, it's not in your hands. You're not weak, you're just human, and humans are shaped by what surrounds them. This brings us to one of the most counterintuitive but powerful ideas in the book. Environment beats motivation every time. You walk into a clean kitchen, fruit on the counter, water bottle on the table. Chances are you'll make a healthy choice without thinking. But walk into a cluttered space with cookies in plain view. You're likely to snack, even if you promised yourself you wouldn't. The environment acts as a silent cue, and over time, those cues shape your habits, your identity, your results. Want to watch less TV? Unplug it. Put the remote in a drawer. Want to write more? Keep your journal visible on your desk. Want to stop hitting snooze? Put your alarm across the room. These aren't hacks, they're habit architecture. You don't need more discipline, you need fewer temptations. You don't break bad habits, you make them obsolete. You don't rely on motivation, you design your environment to do the work for you. In the battle between willpower and environment, environment always wins. By now, you've seen the hidden layers inside Atomic Habits, the stuff most summaries miss. But learning isn't enough. Action is everything. So here's your first real challenge, your first 1% better move. Pick one habit you want to build and one habit you're ready to break. Don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for motivation. Just start today. And comment below with number Atomic Habits, because accountability changes the game. When you write it down and share it, you shift from intention to identity. You're not just watching, you're becoming someone new. If this video lit something up inside you, hit subscribe, because next week we're breaking down the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins. Another powerful tool to crush hesitation, rewire your brain, and take control in just 5 seconds. No fluff, just science-backed action. And if you're serious about change, check the link in the description. Atomic Habits isn't just a book, it's a blueprint. One that's helped millions shift their lives from chaos to clarity, from distraction to direction. Remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about showing up over and over. Tiny steps, daily wins, because in the end, big transformations don't come from intensity, they come from consistency. This is the hidden secrets of atomic habits. Now go make them yours.